Paulding County, Ohio. Anywhere Midwestern USA. A quiet country town like any other. But it has a sordid past, one shrouded in mystery and murder. Legend has it that in the fall of 2011, a pair of aspiring filmmakers set out to explore Paulding County's local legends and lore. That night would prove to be eventful, to say the least. This is their compilation and their legacy. On the morning of October 30th, 2011, Chris Deadman Smith and his esteemed colleague, Joe J.T. Taylor, went down to the county courthouse to file for the necessary permits and to obtain any information to help further their investigation. The two men were greeted only with a cold shoulder. In fact, they were warned. They were told not to pry into such family affairs, to leave well enough alone. The men were not given permission or any information. Permits were said to take a lengthy amount of time to file as a way to dissuade their curiosities. With little help from the local authorities, the duo decided that they would go at it alone, take the risk, and not heed the warning. That was their first mistake. On October 31st, JT and Deadman were said to have set out on their journey. Armed only with a fistful of information and a handheld video camera, the pair of filmmakers make light of the reluctant behavior of the local authorities and their warning. Grover Hill. A piece of land once known as Riverside Acres sits on the outskirts of town along the water's edge. Legend has it that a local bridge is said to be haunted by the spirit of a little girl in a white dress. The child always appears to be angry. One eyewitness says that he remembers swimming around the bridge area one summer afternoon. He turns to see a little girl in white sneering at him. The child is said to have come from a rich local family. Her death was somewhat of a mystery. The child was ill and became a burden on the family. She was abandoned and left to die by the water's edge. In town, JT and Deadman ask around about the legend, the little girl, and the rich family. The townsfolk become nervous and tight-lipped on questioning.
I got a question for you guys. Have you guys heard of the Riverside Acres?
That used to be around here?
JT and Deadman find their behaviors
Any scary happenings going on there?
an uneasy feeling comes over them, and they decide to take their leave of town.
The residents here in Grover Hill seem to know next to nothing about the plot of land or the myths surrounding it.
The two men recall crossing paths with a late model pickup truck that night. More than once.
Alright people, here we are. Woodlawn Cemetery in Ohio City. We're here to visit the Cool family.
Legend has it that the Cool family were an eccentric couple who grew suspicious and jealous of one another. One night, in a fit of rage, Mr. Cool attacked his wife. He dragged her into the garage where he had strung a noose over the rafters. As Mrs. Cool hung there kicking and gasping, she managed to grab a large pair of shears and bury them deep into her husband's chest. Their headstones immortalize their hatred for one another even in death. Legend has it.
Alright people, we're in Rockford, Ohio. Making our way.
Legend has it. The Riverside Cemetery in Rockford has more than one story to tell. Near the back of the cemetery, there is a grave in which a figure in white is said to be seen pacing or walking around the grave. Some say it's a bride waiting for her husband. Others say it is the spirit of a soldier killed in the line of duty, and he awaits his bride-to-be.
Them in white at the back of the cemetery. Maybe a little more to the legend than myth.
Nearby, a well sits capped by a thick cement lid. Legend has it that the well gave way to an underground cavern. Hundreds of the graves were washed out. At one point, you could look down into the well, and among the crimson water, you could actually watch the corpses float by. On the other side of the cemetery, there is a spot by a large oak tree that if you stop and listen, you can hear a far-off voice or conversation that you can't quite make out. Legend has it.
I'm not even fucking around right now. Someone's talking.
On the way to their next location, the two pass a pickup truck similar to the one that they had seen earlier back in town. JT and Deadman find it odd, but it wouldn't register until later.
Back there? See it?
Fuck is a fucking flash.
Payne, Ohio. A quaint country town.
Home of yours truly.
What's up?
The homes here are quiet for the most part. Not so at 421 Main Street. The house is documented and has been deemed haunted within the paranormal community. In the night, footsteps are heard throughout the house. Cold spots and orbs are common there. Legend has it. Upon conducting their research, JT and Deadman came across a touching story. It is one of Paulding County's oldest unsolved murders. On November 13th, 1960, Nancy Eagleson and her younger sister Cheryl went to the movie theater in Paulding to catch a matinee. The movie let out around 7:15, and Nancy and Cheryl decided to walk home. At the edge of town, just 1 mile from their home, the two girls were approached by an unfamiliar vehicle. The man inside grabbed Nancy, forcing her into the car. Cheryl ran as fast as she could until she got home and told her mother what had happened. The Eagleson family immediately returned to the scene, only to find Nancy's purse lying on the road. A search party was quickly dispersed by local authorities. 7 hours later, Nancy's body was found in a patch of wooded area near County Road 176. Nancy's restless spirit is said to walk the forest, waiting for her killer to be brought to justice. Legend has it. Paulding County Jail. The ghost of Sheriff Keeler is said to be seen roaming the halls of the Paulding County Jail. A worker performing renovations on the jail was said to have seen the spirit of Keeler walking the hallways. The apparition stops, turns, and gives the man a look before walking away. Many employees have had similar experiences. The two filmmakers head out of town to their next and final destination. Township Road 126, also known as Coffin Road.
Being in the cemetery, yeah, spooky. But this Coffin Road,
It's a different kind of spooky.
different kind of spooky. This is more of a, I don't even know how to explain it.
After the turn of the century, there was a great flood. The local cemeteries had all washed out. Coffins and corpses lined the road for miles, thus giving the road its name. Farther down the road, the Jacob Eden Children's Home once sat. One fateful night, a man who had been quarreling with Mr. Eden and whom didn't care too much for the children came in the middle of the night and set the orphanage on fire. It burned to the ground, killing 14 people, mostly children. The strange man later hangs himself from a nearby tree. Some say the man was hired to kill Mr. Eden, and then he himself was murdered as a way to keep the whole thing quiet. Legend has it. Coffin Road is the most sought-after urban legend hotspot in Paulding County. Many strange occurrences have taken place in this location. Ghostly sightings, distant cries of horror, and countless vanishings. night's end, JT and Deadman were unknowingly about to encounter the unimaginable.
Oh shit, dude. Go.
Joe and Chris started out as a couple of filmmakers, but ended up just being statistics. The two set out to capture what Paulding County had to offer in terms of spooks and haunts. They got a little more than they intended. These are the last known recordings from the two men.
This is how horror movies start, dude. Some fucked up looking rednecks and stuff just passes.
On October 31st, 2011, JT and Deadman went missing. The authorities have no leads. Their whereabouts are still unknown. Legend has it.
They're putting the reverse lights on.
Go on.
They're putting the reverse lights on.